Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I'm Army Piper, and this is the morning show bringing you guys the news, the headlines, everything you need to know to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit, guys. CZ making a call that Bitcoin is going to go to the moon. It's just a matter of time. We're going to take a look at that little video clip, and then plus, guys, everyone's talking about market tops. They really are. No joke. It's all over social media. We got a lot of red today, but we got some reasons for pullback, guys. It has to do with Nvidia and China. We're going to take a look at that. And then also, guys, if you just look at the chart, we're really just holding on a point of control right there. Nice little point of control running across there in the green trend, 3D trend. We're going to watch this. I got some levels that we need to hold to confirm that this is still bullishness, guys. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Just take a deep breath, take a drink of your coffee. Got some new emojis for you guys in the chat there. 2Dub, you got your own emoji now. So delicious coffee. We got coffee. We got coffee. We got new emojis. We got charts. We got the OC guy, all that and a lot more. Let's get it, guys. Class is in session. Let's go. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Piper hates quantum stocks. I don't know what you're talking about, username. Let's go look through here and just see who all we got in here with us today. Let's see. Good morning, alumni. That was me. That was Piper Academy. Duality Crypto saying hello. Hello, you Duality. Crypto Coin Mindsets in the house with us. Alexandra G, the mod queen in the house. Gotta love the mod queen, guys. Username Indie Rock Crypto. Dylan VA is in here with us. We got Crypto Coin Mindset. Great content show there. I've been on here there a couple of times. Good dude over there. Average Crypto Joe is in here with us. Who else we got? Harp. We got Wix Wife Fine 89 with the 2Dub. She got her own 2Dub. Who else we got? Ahsoka in here, of course. We got to have Ahsoka. Crypto Chef. If I missed anybody, hold up. Is this the wifey mug? Yes, it is. It's your own emoji. Crypto Trades in here with us. If I missed anybody, guys, I'm just trying to scroll through. Oh, Super Chat $9.99 from 2Dub. Thanks for the emoji, Piper. Much love to you and the alumni. No, much love to you, 2Dub. You and Alexandra G. You, my queens of moderation. You guys are holding it down. I love you guys. Thank you. And then DI just joining us here too. And Randy. Randy's in the house with us. But you know who else is with us? This guy. This guy right here, the OC guy. Good morning, OC. So we got some pullbacks in the markets, man. Did you stress this weekend? Were you stressing out about the price action, or did you just shut off the computer screen, walk away, and go grab some cervezas?
Oh my God, guys. I mean, if you know, this last week and this week was crazy. We just have a bunch of activity, new indicators, so on and so forth. Prices, market going crazy, up and down everywhere. This weekend, I did have to disconnect. Nonetheless, I do still have my bot running in the background, and I still have my I had it right here. I can't just read it. Bitcoin trade open up, and then I might be closing it today. I don't know. Other than that, everything I just let like Jesus take the wheel on this trade, and yeah, Jesus take the wheel, and it played out pretty nicely. I mean, I did took TP number 1 early this weekend, and then just leave it out because I have my stop to entry like that to get stopped out. But other than that, everything is nice. I'm fresh and ready for a new week and new challenges. Hopefully you guys also are, and pretty excited to see what this week is bringing for us.
Yeah, I am too. And people are asking in here, who's 2Dub? I didn't know who 2Dub was. That's Wix Wife. 2 W's. Wix Wife Fine 89. That's 2Dub. I nicknamed her that a while back, and now she has an emoji for it. Let's go ahead and jump into the news, because we got quite a bit of news to unpack today for the peoples. For the peoples, they need their news, man. So let's jump over there and let's talk about that first, and then we'll come back. We'll get Bitcoin going and talk about Bitcoin news, because we got some Bitcoin news too. Michael Saylor back at it again. So let's go get into this. All right, guys. Looking at the news today, a couple of things here right off the bat. One, We got fear and greed. Fear and greed's coming in. Extreme greed again. We are at a 78 now on that. But don't worry, guys, because according to Rekt Capital, we are at 55% market progress. Now, he does say, I want to be clear here. When he talks about the progress, there is a division of time and value, right? And so he does say that progress will speed up in the parabolic phase to wrap it out, because once it hits key thresholds of levels that we've, that it sets at the top, that will be obviously, okay, look, things are happening quicker. It'd be like one day waking up and the pi cycle starting to cross and you go, oh, I thought we had more time. No, but it pumped up really hard and then made that cross happen, right? So progress will speed up in the parabolic phase, but as of right now, 55% of the way through the bull market. So we'll look at that and see what that's saying. I told you guys some people are talking about tops are in and stuff, but I got a couple of charts that I'm going to show you here in a little bit of why we are not in. One from the Titan of Crypto and one from Big Tim over at Investing Bros. We'll take a look at those. MicroStrategies, guys. MicroStrategy now owns 420,000 Bitcoin. 2% of all of the Bitcoin that will ever exist is owned by Michael Saylor. MicroStrategies just bought an additional 21,550 Bitcoin for $2.1 billion. So, and he's not alone. Other people are starting to get in on this. Who was that I saw? I think I got an article on it. We'll get into that in a little bit. Let's jump over and check out where we are right now on the market. $3.76 trillion market cap on crypto right now, down about 2%. Last 24 hours volume up 29.1%. Quite a bit of that being in the world of sell-off, which you can see right there looking at the bubbles. There's a lot of red on there. There are a couple of green things. Pepe is at 3.7%. Leo 2.1%. Floki 2.1 and OM up 2.5. Looks like XMR down here got a little tiny green bubble. So let's go and take a look at what the price is at right now. Currently, Bitcoin just under 100,000, $99,220. It is down 0.8%, guys. It's less than 1%. That's what it's down. Ethereum, on the other hand, down 2.3%, just at, it's lost at 4,000. It got actually rejected at $4,000 range, just sitting at $3,898. XRP is at $2.42, down 4.7%. Excuse me. Got the hiccups now. This is not good when you got to talk. Down 4.7%. Solana down 3.2%. It is sitting at $229. BNB sitting at 728. Let's go look at the big moves. Doge 4%, if you want to call that a big move. Cardano, ADA down 5.9. So a lot of these alts getting severe pullbacks, despite Bitcoin only being down 0.7%. This is how it usually happens. Bitcoin has a little pullback. The alts say, oh, crap. And then you get that going. Polkadot down 7.7% there. Any other big ones? Hedera, H-bar down 6.1%. It's lost 2 positions, moved down to number 19, while Bitcoin Cash has moved up 2 positions to number 17 on the market cap. Pepe, though, green on the daily, green on the hourly, moving up into the top 20. Pepe is proving its strength as Uniswap trades out that 21st position with Pepe there. But that is what we are seeing there on the crypto bubbles, guys. Let's jump over into liquidation, take a look at this, and let's see what it's saying. In the past 24 hours, 203,808 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $505.5 million. Largest single liquidation order was on Binance. It was for Doge. Someone got liquidated for $5.5 million on Doge, guys. Stock market, looking at this, let's give it a refresh to see if there's any updates to this. You can see the Dow Jones is currently opening, just opening right now, up about 0.07%. Not much there. To the upside, it's pretty much neutral. Let's call it what it is. S&P is down about 0.13, and the Nasdaq down about 0.1%. Russell 2K though, small caps are up about 0.5%, a little over that. And the VIX, we have a green VIX, guys, which means we got a lot of volatility going on in the markets. NASDAQ falls after winning week as Nvidia shares slip. Why are the shares slipping? Well, we talked about that. It's about China. We're going to be looking at that article here in a minute. Let's go over this is the economic data coming out this week. We don't really have anything today, Monday, December 9th. Tomorrow, we have API crude stock change, not a major one. Wednesday, that's going to be a big one. Wednesday, we're going to get core inflation rate month over month, currently expected to be neutral on the consensus and forecast compared to what it was previously. Core inflation year over year expected to be neutral. So no surprises as of right now coming on these. Inflation rate month over month, actually expected that it could be up slightly on the forecast, but the consensus is that it's going to be neutral also. Year over year, though, we do see another uptick in inflation, which is odd because we're seeing job numbers that are meh. They're meh. They're mid, as my son would say. Now we're seeing inflation making little comebacks, right? And so if inflation's coming up, the whole reason you hold rates high, Fed rates higher, is so that people don't, it's not as cheap to borrow money, right? You control the inflation by raising that those Fed rates. But we're still looking at Fed cuts, guys. We look over here at the CME group, and this is their prediction for the FOMC meeting for December 18th. We're sitting at an 87.1% chance of a rate cut, another 25 basis points. So this doesn't really make a lot of sense when you see, look, if the job market's not weakening, it's mid, right? There's no risk to holding rates. But you got inflation coming back. I personally think, and I've seen a lot of people on CNBC this morning talking about this. I think that I don't think they should do a rate cut in December, but it looks like as of right now they will be doing one. Now, guys, if this inflation comes in heavy on December 10th, we could see a pause on the rate cuts going on December 18th. So keep that in mind. We might see that flip between now and then. Thursday, we're going to get PPI data, and then Friday, import-export prices. That's about all we have this week. Big ones all going to be coming in on Wednesday. So looking over here, guys, this is what I was talking about. China launches antitrust probe into Nvidia. Move comes as tensions deepen between Washington and Beijing over the development of AI. And then China launched this antitrust probe on Nvidia as competition with the U.S. deepens over the AI thing. Chinese state media on Monday night reported that the state administration of market regulation had in recent days opened an investigation into Nvidia for antitrust. If you guys don't know what that is, that means that they're saying, hey, you are a monopoly, especially after they tried to get this Israeli and American supplier, Mellanox. They did a $6.9 billion acquisition of that company. And so that on top of what Nvidia already has, China looking at them as a monopoly, and that is causing some sell-off today on Nvidia price. Reddit, guys, for the stock people, Reddit stock, BC Port Corp, pay attention. Reddit got an upgrade from Morgan Stanley thanks to strong ad revenue growth. Reddit continuing to pump pretty darn good. So if you guys are looking at stocks, Reddit just got another upgrade. They're now hiking that price target to $200 from $70. So could lead to a decent upside on Reddit. Not financial advice, just letting you guys know. That's what happened there. And then MicroStrategy, as we talked about, MicroStrategy Bitcoin stash now rises to 423,650 Bitcoin after another multi-billion-dollar purchase. Guys, we talked about MicroStrategies Microsoft is looking at doing this, and I think it was Marathon maybe was looking at doing this also. Marathon Digital, that is the mining company for Bitcoin. But now there's another one that is coming into play on that. That is Riot Platforms, doing pretty much what Marathon did and what MicroStrategies did. Their Riot Platform drops after announcing convertible offerings to buy more Bitcoin. So they are going to be doing some acquisition of Bitcoin through convertibles, just like MicroStrategy has been doing. But on that news, they dropped 5.9%. I guess people are just thinking that they might be getting a little overexposed and a little over leveraged. So interesting. MicroStrategy pumps, right? It does the same thing, and they dump 5.9%. So, and that I believe, yep, that is it, guys. That is all we have today on the news. Let's jump back over to OC guy, and let's go take a look at Bitcoin. OC, anything there of interest to you in that stock? You know, the Reddit thing, Riot Platforms trying to do a MicroStrategy move and not getting the performance level that Michael Saylor gets, or any of that interesting for you that you want to talk about?
I just wanted to talk 3 points important for me. They're not that related to that topic, but the first one I want to touch on is just, guys, just put the pin there just in case something goes on. I don't know, Piper, if you heard that Syria got into a civil war and now his president flew out and all of the stuff, and then Israel's moving into Syria, right? So many of geopolitical things that I mean, it's not surprising, right? All of this, but they're still accumulating. So I would say, just guys, keep a pinpoint there in the back of your head. Let's now.
Sorry, that was a video.
I was like, "Who?"
Got a mind of its own.
Here on my door. Yeah. So just kind of like keep that point at the back of your head. Why? Because we could be starting to see maybe opportunities on investments, right? When geopolitical things move, money also moves, because we're talking about big economies rising and falling, right? Just in that case, I just want to point that up. Another two little news that I want to tell you guys is investors in Russia expect Bitcoin to peak at 160K this cycle report. Just really quick, just reading at those articles, not really going in depth with those because we already have TA. We're not that far away from the 100K, but again, just like Paper mentioned, everybody's talking about the possible tops here. As you can see, I'm expecting somewhere around 200, 250 at least, and then at most 500K, right? And last but not least for me, this might be the way that I get out of that hole. HIVE Digital shares climb 6% as miners target 2% of Bitcoin network. Hopefully we see HIVE Digital just pumping, and maybe we can see I can see light out of that tunnel. Other than that, I think we should be now concentrating on what's going to be the next step for Bitcoin, especially since we have had that little bit of a retracement. Let me just give you a sense of what happened before, right? Which is nothing like right now, although this one here is a reflection of the main economy. Other than that, I think I'm going to be taking some profits as we interchange screens. Right here, I took 50% out. Jesus, take the wheel, almost took me out. Good thing I did wait it. Now, since I'm on resistance and we're below the zero line on a red oscillator, well, then I think it's going to be time for me just to risk off a little bit, keep just 25% on that entry that we did throughout the weekend. And other than that, that's all I got under my sleeves. I'm sorry, Piper. Turning it back to you.
You know what? You know what else you don't have underneath you? A ticker. Let me put that back on. That thing always turns off on me, man. I don't know why. It don't like me. Let me refresh that. There we go. Look at that. We got a ticker again. Shout out, by the way, to Crypto Princess. If you guys don't know, she's a UK British content creator. She just recently did an interview on Alex O Crypto. She's going to be doing an interview with me on Thursday. So if she's watching this, she's checking out the content. Shout out to her. She's got some good stuff. So we're going to be looking to do some collab stuff with her over there on the other side of the pond, as they say. Let's go ahead and jump into this Bitcoin chart, guys, and let's take a look at it here. Because yesterday, actually, let me go over here and let's pull this up. Because yesterday I did get into a trade. I got into that trade at $98,800. It did have a little bit of a pullback underneath that still, but as of right now, up about $140, 6.6%. I'll keep an eye on that. Why did I get into at that level? That was going to be the point of control here, guys. The point of control is what we got a decent little bounce on. I was looking to get another entry, which you just saw in that chart that I had up on the trade chart. I was looking for another entry at around $97,000 because we had the upper side of the anchored VWAP coming in on a trend line here at the same time that we also have this 1.236 extension here on the Fibonacci. So I was looking for that, didn't happen. We're now breaking the value area high. Guys, if we break this value area high, we do have a daily. This is your daily close yesterday at $101,000. If it breaks through that, I would be watching all the way up to the 1.362 here, or 1.382, I mean. That is going to be right there, coming in at $106,493 exactly. Also, on top of that is the upper side of our quantum bands from ChartPrime's indicators. So we could be looking at a nice little quick liquidity grab up here, and then it pulls back and doesn't make it up there. Let's go take a look at the heat map and let's see what levels we do have there on that, because that is something to know. There we go, liquidation heat map. So it looks like on the 24-hour, we do have a level sitting here at about $100,500. Let's go to the 48-hour. Yeah, there's one up there. It's very small, though, guys. There's more yellow on the 48-hour below us than above us. But let's check out the 3-day. 3-day, we got a level all the way down at 97.8, which would be in line with what I was talking about, a revisit down there to that support level. But we start to get into our liquidity at about $101,000. So that's right in line with what I'm talking about with that liquidity grab. Anything on the higher levels, yep, we get up there. Now we're looking at 1047, guys. 104 to 1047 is going to be the level with the hottest, the biggest area of liquidity on the heat map right now. And it's above us. There's not a whole lot below us. I mean, you can see we got some in here. There's, 33 million, 45 million, 38 million. So if this was to come all the way down and retest that previous wick that we had, you would clean out about $1 billion there. But I think that there's a lot more to the upside than there is to the downside for liquidity. So market makers may go down that way. Now, if we did come back down off of a rejection, let me get rid of the Mexican spaghetti here. Hashtag Mexican spaghetti. If we did do a pullback down to the bottom side, guys, we do have a trend assistant sitting here at the bottom of the 3D trend. Hopefully, guys, the 3D trend is coming out this week to Plus members. So if you guys have been waiting on that, according to Alex Fernandez, the CEO of ChartPrime, that should be coming out this weekend to us. So I would be watching for that level. That's about a $95,000 level. Some other key confluence that we have down at that level, guys, is going to be the dynamic reactor coming in here. So we got the dynamic reactor, very powerful algorithmic moving average from ChartPrime. We do have the trend assistant coming in that level. And then I would think that as we were coming down, we would start to get a tightening here on the quantum reaction, the quantum band. So guys, I think worst case scenario, we're looking at $92,000 pullback if that was to happen. Now, before we jump over and head over to OC, I do want to talk about, because some people are saying, hey, are we going to see this big pullback coming, stuff like that. But as I was talking about earlier, we got Tim's chart here. Let's pull this up and see what he's saying. Because he said Bitcoin Bollinger Bands are constricting, and a lot of people were faked out yesterday on yesterday's flash pump and then fall, but it was simply testing the range. You can see this blue bar that he has here. That is the blue wave around this. That is the top side of this, is that Bollinger Band. And then right now at the bottom, we just tested it and got a bounce on the bottom. It is starting to tighten. Look at the last time that we had a tightening over there. Right in the center. Let me see if I can get a little bit of a highlight going here. Maybe. Yep, right in that area. You guys see that? Sorry, I don't have the mouse cursor, so you guys can't see it. There is that was a tightening of the band. We're starting to get that again, and that typically leads to decent upsides. If we want to do a little bit of a comparative analysis of what that actually means, let's take a look at Titan of Crypto here. And he does have this nice layout here of each cycle and these trend lines that it does from the top, from the bottoms to the tops, right? We started at the bottom, now we're here. you can see right in this area where he's talking about this coming up, that's going to be like $160,000 to $200,000 Bitcoin. And this is based strictly off of RSIs at the bottom. We're not even really that anywhere near the levels that we get to on RSI. And I think OC has showed this before, looking at the monthly about this trend line, or maybe it was Alex O Crypto showing the monthly RSI. So maybe you can pull that up to show what that actually is looking like and give a little bit of a better analysis here. But according to Titan of Crypto, monthly RSI shows Bitcoin still has room to climb. Corrections are just part of the bull run. When in doubt, zoom out. Some key advice there from the Titan of Crypto. So OC, let's jump over to your chart. Let's take a look. We just took a look at the lower time frame. Let's take a look at this high time frame and maybe pull up that RSI primed and just see how this is looking on the monthly in comparison to previous cycles.
Absolutely. So I also think that we should be coming out to your way, because remember that you made some adjustments to your cycle analysis on a oscillator. I think that's a great one to also compare drastically to this one. So this is what I think the one that you refer. This is part of my analysis of the $500,000 Bitcoin. Nonetheless, this is a trend line, or one of the trend lines that we could be looking at, right? As you can see, I also am looking at somewhere around 245, 300. So that's why I'm aiming at this as my first top, right? Before I start looking for major pullbacks, or at least the early topping here, something that we can go on and take a look at. It is going to just a search, because guys, this is a free, oh, come on, not this one. This is a free indicator. So just do ChartPrime, one single word, and then you can look for the RSI Prime. Let's click in that, and there we got it in here. So something that I will be looking at this point, or a little bit of a configuration, will be going to the settings here. And by the way, shout out to Piper, because he taught me this practice in here, because I'm a big hater of hiking, actually, to be honest. But in this one, man, this makes so much sense to have them, right? So this is RSI, but candleized, if that makes sense. So basically measuring candle open, candle close, and then transforming into hiking, actually. So you can see better on how we change those trends. So as you can see right here, we're looking for not only that trend top, but also that change of color. And so far, we have not yet had it. Next time that previous time that we see it here, we see that a double top that we all know right before that retracement over time, or correction over time here. And the next one that we saw was right on this one, around this previous high at this point. So far, I would say we still have some time. Why? Because one of the characteristics of this RSI, it is having tiny candles, right? Once you start seeing those tiny candles at the top, I would say that we have 2 or 3 weeks. All right, 2 or 3 weeks to start getting prepared, and then start looking for a possible correction. Remember, I'm not saying to position you guys on shorts. I would be saying grabbing the some of your gains. Maybe this is not financial advice, right? Starting to see where could we be shooting at the top, and then setting those impossible targets at the top for maybe a 2x short to the downside, just to get a hold of it, just to do, like put your toes in the pool to test the water. And other than that, then run with the flow. Other than that, let me just wrap it up here very quickly. We're still on track of my analysis of the $500,000 Bitcoin. We are diverging slightly here. Of course, this is not candle by candle precise, but I am expecting to see by December or January this pumping here, and then the retracement. This big pump and this retracement, not losing the previous highs, this will indicate me that we at least are going to be getting my my next target at 250 to 350K areas. So hopefully we can see them, and then we have a merry Christmas. Other than that, let me throw it back to you, Piper, to maybe wrap it up with your charts.
OC talking about $350,000 Bitcoin. Just saying. Just saying. Let's go ahead and jump over. Guys, I just dropped in the chat there a link for MAD last night, Markets After Dark. Evidently, I didn't have a chance to check it out this morning yet, but Lunar Beaches was also talking about that monthly RSI. So go check out that link later on. Markets After Dark, last night's edition. He was talking about that at the Sunday Asian Market Open. Let's go jump over here and let's hear what CZ had to say about Bitcoin and where he thinks it's going to the moon, evidently. Let's go check it out.
I think we're going to see a lot more use cases right now. So right now, people still view Bitcoin as an investment asset to a large extent. So people talk about price. People talk about 100K. People look at it as an asset type or investment asset. It's really the utility that I think we will see in the next decade or decade and a half. So I think it's a future of money. So it should be used as a utility. So I think when later on we shouldn't be calling Bitcoin. It's just money. So I think people like there's a Bill Gates who said like people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, but underestimate what they can do in 10 years. So I think within 10 years or so, 5-10 years, I think we're now seeing nation states accumulating Bitcoin and as strategic reserves, and that will increase the price further potentially, and that almost mathematically, and then we will see more use cases out of it.
Okay, so you avoided the question. What's going to be the price of Bitcoin in 10 to 15 years?
To the moon.
I'm putting you on the spot. You got to give me a number. What would you say to your friend?
I think really there's no limit really. So it's very hard to put a precise number. So I'm avoiding the question still, but it's really hard to put a precise number on it. I think any number will get there in time.
So there you go. Don't even worry about the number. Just worry about how long you've got exposure and zoom out. So pretty good little clip there from CZ in his interview with Bitcoin Magazine, telling, basically saying, look, it's going to the moon and there is no real top. We can't put a number on it. It depends on how much it absorbs of gold's money, how much it absorbs of being treasury reserves for nations, so on and so forth. Of course, Peter Schiff yesterday said Bitcoin is public enemy number one to national security. So thank you, Peter Schiff, for picking up the mantle of Elizabeth Warren and running with it. Next thing you know, Peter Schiff running for senator. So, yeah, Jesus Lord, that guy.
Let me ask you a question about CC. Is that the same CC that at the beginning on Binance, he wanted to rechange the whole Bitcoin chain and blockchain to just compensate for?
That's him. That's what he's. That's CZ.
Yes, exactly. Yes, I forgot that for a second. Yes, I mean, but is that the same guy that wanted to change Bitcoin blockchain just to compensate for him being hacked? Is that the same CC that called Bitcoin a scam? Is that the same CC that that actually put what was this? FX? Come on. This
FTX.
Man. FTX. Sorry, FTX on the spot and publicly helped to make it to its knees. I don't know, man. I mean, I do agree with him. Let me be clear about that. But every single time that I see him talking, everything just comes back to my head, and I think just like in politics. Guys, we should not be having short memory, right? Because that shows me that this guy is moving with the wave, right? Whatever the current goes, he also pulls. And he's looking by himself, for himself. And yes, this time looks like he is kind of like a more, I don't know, into people. But remember, he went to Yale? I don't know.
Well, you got to remember, most people in the beginning did not think much of Bitcoin, and it has grown in adoption, it has grown in acceptance, and it has grown in speculation year over year over year. He's just becoming very bullish on Bitcoin, which he should. Most people are missing out on it. My neighbor yesterday, so if you guys remember a while back, I said my neighbor's wife and her mother called me up, and my son and I went over to their house, showed them like the 4-year cycle, explained the Bitcoin movement and flow, and I said, right now would be the time to be buying Bitcoin. It was like February of this year, right? January, February time period of 2024. And it was like $25,000, maybe $26,000 at the time. And yesterday I saw him out getting ready to go to work, and he's like, dude, Bitcoin. I was like, yeah. He goes, did it top $100,000? I said, yeah. He goes, that's 300% from when you were talking to my wife about it. I said, it sure is. It sure is. You know, it's just a matter of time. So it's Peter Schiff, when he finally accepts defeat and starts being pro Bitcoin, then that's when I will sell all of my Bitcoin officially and get out. So so shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Let's go over, take a look at Ethereum OC. And then if you want to get another alt ready, I think let's take a look at ADA, because I think ADA is being set up for an entry. It had a decent little pullback overnight. That's what I'm looking for, those pullbacks, so that we can get in on some more trades and some more investments. So let's jump over to check out Ethereum right now. Got the ETH shirt on today, so why not? Guys, we did have a little pullback here. We came up. This is going to be on Friday morning. We came up and we hit the quantum bands there, a lot like a Bollinger Band with a lot more prime power in it. Okay, that was pretty much the touch that ended it. You can see the last time here we had a little push up past the Bollinger Band touch right there, but it did initially lead to a pullback. Right now, after that touch that we had on Friday, we got stuck underneath our 0.66 on the top side of the golden pocket here. That was our double touch top here for downside move. And we pretty much, remember guys, these aren't exact lines. This data is being pulled off of fibs that go all the way back. Let's go here and show you. These fibs are being pulled back from 2020 to 2021 to 2022. These are trend-based fibs, so they're not going to be exact numbers, but they're pretty darn close when you look at where we rejected in March and where we're rejecting right now, okay? $4,025, and I put this level out in our Discord, said 4,025. I'm watching for a rejection. If we do get above that, look for a bounce. If we don't, and we can't close and reopen a new candle above there, then we're looking at downside movement down to the 618. That's exactly what I put out to our community. So looking at this right now, if we lose the 618, I'm watching for this level here. If Bitcoin doesn't get a move, because you can see there's a nice little trend line here. Let me put this on here and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's a nice little range of resistance, and then now support, and then now resistance that is coming across here, okay? So what I'm going to be watching for is a pullback. If we get that rejection plays out, I'm going to be watching for it to come down to the 3D trend, the trend assist, and the trend line that's all running here. That's going to be coming in at about $3,700. If we do hold the 618, guys, and we can trade inside this golden pocket, this is going to be an area of accumulation. And if we get that, I'm going to be looking at getting in down at the 382 on the like second or third touch of that. That would be a good indication that we might be getting that double bottom or triple bottom here before we move back to the upside on the 4 hour. You can see that I do think that we have some more downside coming. Oscillator ribbon getting a very sharp pullback here, but it's almost at its bottom range right now. The one thing that is a little concerning is that the volume is so, let me pull this up here so you can see. The volume is cutting down, so the volume matrix is sloping downward right now, and it has turned pink. But it looks like we might be getting a little upturn there on money flow. Let's take a look at the daily and just see how that's looking. Yeah, money flow does show on the daily that we do have maybe another little wave coming here, but you can see there was like a turn down here, and then it went up, and then there was a little turn down here. These are very small pullbacks. So if we do get that pullback, that would be somewhere in the ballpark there, about $3,700. And again, looking at that $4, that 4 hour range, that's going to be right in there on that trend line, the trend assistant, and the 3D trend indicators. So not overly concerned about what I'm seeing right now. Some pullbacks, just opportunity knocking on the door. So OC, let's kick it over to you and see what you got, bro.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at here at ADA very quick. Let's get first started with the very basics, right? Remember, let's start simple, and then we add a little bit more complexity as we go, just to start predicting a little bit more in detail what we could be happening, right? The first thing that I'm going to be noticing is that we are almost at the bottom of the oscillator, looking for that flip of the ribbon, right? Remember that ribbon physically bouncing off the bottom. So it seems like we are almost there, but do we have any kind of support? Well, the closest support that I can see, it is my high volume area at my dynamic reactor. So that's the one I'm going to be marking at this point. Let's go with the next ones here. Let's now take a look at my reactors, right? All of my reactors are showing me that we are bunching up here, and then basically my quantum reactor being just slightly lower, which indicates me that maybe we could be having a wick all the way down there, but let's just keep that at the back of our head for now. Still, the area of concentration, it is right here where we are pointing it out. Next, let's take a look at our support and resistances. Now we have lost a big support in here, number 5 out of the 4 hours, so the 5th most important one, and then we're going for another 2 support and resistances. As you can see, once again, look at where things are getting combined, right? They're combined, sorry, right down there. So our confidence, it's building up. Something important, now that we just pull up a couple of support and resistances, it is that I'm gonna be playing with my my structure here. So my price structure tells me that I have lost a trend line here, right? It's not about the breakout, it's about the retest, and then off we go, but with the bullish. Why? Because we are not breaking below the dynamic reactor. Another thing that I'm going to be pointing out, it is that if we measure, like for example, this other trend line to make a possible channel downwards, you can see once again where are we having that confluence point, right? So as you can see, just step by step, baby steps are leading the way. So now let me just bring up order blocks and predictive ranges. I think this is going to be the point or the tool that's going to seal the deal. So far, what I have in here, it is a high order block. Guess where? Exactly at the same area. And also a gray line in here. So far, seems like this is the way to go for a possible entry for then a bounce. There's one redemption option, which could be a fake out, right? A fake out, and that will define or be defined by the flip of the ribbon happening before we reach lower areas in here. And all right, OC, too much blah, blah, blah. How do I make money on this? All right, so this is my plan. First of all, I'm going to be looking at my support area here. For me, that's going to be an entry. As long as I have already flip of the ribbon. Remember that I can have flip of the ribbon and then a secondary flip, all right? This is what I might be expecting right here. So entry at this point, remember to use a stop loss, all right? Then what if it turns around me? Maybe this flip of the ribbon is too strong. Well, then I'm only going to be jumping in as I go up, bounce from this trend line down, bounce or hit this one here, and that's going to be my long position right there as I am breaking through the 0 line, all right? And then off we go. Stop loss will be at the center of the channel. Let me point it out, somewhere like that. And that will be my secondary entry. For shorts, I will not be looking at shorts until we start losing the dynamic reactor on the 4 hours. And then we retrieve and then we replan. Other than that, looking for longs, looking to take advantage of those retracements like in here, like in here, like in here, and well, you get the point, right? And like in there. So other than that, I think that's what I got on ADA. Turning it back to you, Piper.
We had a request to take a look at LCID from Crypto Pollo. Cluck, cluck. Cluck, cluck, man. So looking here at LCID, this is Lucid Group, guys, on the NASDAQ. It's a stock. We had back here, I want you guys to see what I look for on these confluence of indicators, okay? We had a green trend line here. We came up and we broke it. And you can see here the 3D trend did snap over into a bearish one, but price came back up into it and then got rejected. That is what I like to look for. This is a perfect example of the OC retest. Oh, it broke the 3D trend. Let's get in. No, it came up here, did a retest, and then it went down, right? You can see we had a quantum band up here inside of the 3D trend. It started to come down. We got another rejection here. That is where it bounced again, and it just continued down, trading all the way to currently right now. We had just broken out of the 3D trend to the upside. You had plenty of opportunities to get into short calls all the way down. That would be puts, put the phone down on the stock side. Now we have broken this. You don't want to get into this right now. First take profit was already hit. That's that TP1 right there, okay? We already hit that. We are touching the top of the quantum bands again. We did break the dynamic reactor and we did break the quantum reactor, so that is good. But look for a retest, and this is going to start building a green cloud here very soon. Matter of fact, if I put this on a lower time frame, there's your green cloud. It's ready to go, okay? Looking at the 4-hour here, I would watch for a retest. And the reason that I say that is when we look at the oscillator, we can see that we're overbought. We've already peaked out there on the power bar, that bright green bar running right there across the top. That is going to be, that's telling you that the trend might be weakening. The money flow is starting to turn red just a little bit, but volume is good. I think you're going to get a retest here somewhere in the range of about $2.35-ish, we'll call it. That is going to be the ballpark that I'm looking for it to come back into. And also, if we go on a side-by-side, take a look at the RSI Primed. Guys, it is very, very overbought, and it is red. So you can see there, let me click that. There we go. You can see that it's red, okay? So we want this to cool off a little bit first before we get into it. If it is going to be a successful breakout, then you're going to have a successful retest of this area. That's what I'm seeing on Lucid. OC, let's go ahead and drop it back over to you. We got about 14 minutes here. And we can, oh wait, actually not going to drop it back over to you first. We're going to go talk about something else that I'm watching here on the news. Guys, on the news side, there we go. Kabisi letter. Let's talk about sentiment. Let's talk about sentiment first. Guys, at the end of the day, if the markets believe that it's going to go higher, they're going to buy things to make it go higher, right? And that is what moves markets. Sentiment, right? FOMO. If people are bullish, then they buy things, and if the overall majority is bullish, then price will go up. Taking a look at what Kabisi letter put out here. This was put out, I would think, yesterday morning. So this happened over the weekend. Individual investors have rarely been so confident about the market. 46% of the U.S. individual investors believe that there is less than a 10% probability of a market crash in the next 6 months, the highest share that they've seen since June 2006. The percentage has doubled over the last 2 years, according to the Yale School of Management survey. In other words, investors are the least worried about the stock market in 14 years. This comes as the S&P has rallied approximately 50% since it bottomed in October 2022. On the other hand, investors believe the market is now the most overvalued since April 2000, a month after the dot-com bubble popped. Euphoric market sentiment is through the roof, and you can see back in 03, 05, 06, market sentiment was able to peak well above that black line. We're just now at it. Guys, I still think we have more time in the markets, and if the market sentiment is that strong, then we should not be afraid of these dips right at this point right now until we start to see a change of the trends. And then once that happens, obviously, we adjust fire. New information has been introduced, which means we have to start the analytical cycle all over again and then act on that data. OC, let's kick it back over to you. Let's see what you're looking at, man.
Absolutely. I'm looking at Link, and let's take a look at one trade that I did not enter on. We made an analysis, but as you can see, I needed a break on the charts, and that happens to all of us, right? I want to touch back on this because despite the analysis was spot on, but like to the candle, well, then sometimes if you are not there sentimentally or mentally wise, it's just better not to take it, right? I needed a break this weekend, and that's what I did. I just kept my Bitcoin long open. And remember, that was the only thing that I did Jesus Day the Wheel. Why? Because I already have my stop to entry. But let's see. At this point, remember that we were talking about a possible breakout on Chainlink, right? In fact, this played out right after I give the signal, right? So it's fine. I was waiting for what? A retest. Why were we waiting for that retest? Because we had at that time an order block slightly above, so basically just at these areas. In fact, you can see me pointing at that order block that was slightly above, and then also pointing out my predictive range lining here, also talking about a possible plan B scenario. So what happened? It left me out in here. Since I'm looking for a retest, I did not enter on the movement. I enter on the retest, not about the breakout. It's about the retest. That should be my next entry. But as you can see right here, it was on Saturday, 07. So basically last Saturday, I was just sleeping, relaxing, spending time with my fiance. And what happened? I just did not take the trade, right? Which is fine. In other times, I would be just hitting my chest, just regretting not entering there. But right now, I do understand that the markets are never gonna go out, right? I mean, I can jump in this one or maybe next one. It doesn't matter, right? The thing is, do not get these things get under your skin, right? So what's gonna be my next planning here? Am I planning for a revenge? Yes, but not revenge trading, right? Not just because I missed it, I'm going to be jumping back in. The first thing I want to see is that I have a triple bearish divergence here. I am below my zero line, and what I'm going to be expecting is just looking for the next support. I have a soft order blocking here, despite it is a soft order block. If I have a higher low in here to make a trend line like this, all right, not a divergence, but a trend line, I might be counting for an entry right here, basically making my next higher low like that, and that will be my entry point, but having a very short stop loss, something like that. Why? Because I could still make a lower high in here, and that is because of the pattern that I'm seeing here. I'm just seeing kind of like a up-ranging channel. They usually break to the downside, but you know what we do on channels? Well, we buy where and we sell where. We buy where and we sell where. You fill up the blank there, guys, for me. So quick note, it is not buy high and sell low. All right, so just so you know, the other way around. So other than that, I'm looking for my next possible entry based on the channel and also the oscillator. And other than that, turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. I'm just getting some stuff set up here for our redirect over to Randy Hipper's house because we got to go see our frat mom here in a minute. But I do want to go over something that I just got dropped, Rekt Capital newsletter. Let's jump over to that and take a look at it. Where you at there? Rekt Capital newsletter. I got to go find it here. 1 second. There we go. And then let's jump here. OC. So this is the Rekt Capital newsletter, guys. I just dropped this in the subscription share of the Discord too for the members. So if you are upperclassmen over there, you get access to this. Next couple of weeks could be problematic according to Rekt Capital for Bitcoin, guys. But don't worry. I mean, you can see we're just now starting in the first block here of the run, and then there's some pullback times, right? And so where we are right now, you can see that little area there of pullbacks that we had back in 2021 on that initial pull up. And we'll look at that on the chart in just a minute. Or OC, if you want to go look for that first pullback there on the weekly that we had and measure that off, that would be great while I'm doing this. But he said we are officially week 6. In week 6 of the Bitcoin first price discovery uptrend. There's no question Bitcoin has effectively only just begun its parabolic upside phase of the cycle. However, every parabolic upside phase features price discovery uptrends as well as price discovery corrections. And historically, it's between week 6 and 8 where Bitcoin tends to pull back quite deeply. And week 6 has only just begun. In 2013, Bitcoin retraced 75% in week 7 or so. 2016, Bitcoin retraced 34% in week 8, and I guess it's already here, OC. You don't have to measure it. In 2021, Bitcoin retraced 16% in week 6, and then another 8% in week 8. So it had a couple of pullbacks there total. Guys, nothing overly stressing here. Therefore, between the period between week 6 and week 8 represents a danger zone for Bitcoin price discovery corrections. However, it's worth emphasizing that week 6 tends to be the least problematic. After all, Bitcoin experienced 8% pullback in week 6. So let's go over and just take a look at that chart and just see what that would look like on the chart for Bitcoin to do that. Let me pull that back here. Get that back to a single, and let's go and take a look at that Bitcoin level on the weekly. There we go, 8% pullback. We are pulling back off. The guys, look, it rejected cleanly on that value area high that I was talking about at the beginning of the show right there. That's why we watch these charts. 8% pullback from this current level here. And we'll just do it from the value area high and just go see. Oh, I need to make you shorter, sir. Need to make you Alex O crypto sized, a lot shorter. There you go. Let's go here and pull this from the value area high. Look at a 8% move back. Guys, that would be down near the anchored VWAP, the bottom of the quantum reactor here, and in line with that dynamic quantum reactor, the quantum band and the anchor VWAP would be about a 7.8% move. If we pull this all the way back down, we could be looking at the value area low as the worst case scenario on some of those pullback levels. That was a 13% move there. So that would still be an $86,000 Bitcoin, and it's not unheard of for us to see that. But if we put this on a weekly and just look at what that would be in comparison here, guys, that level that I was just talking about there, that's going to be coming in right in that area there. Let's see. Yep, that's about a 16% right there. So pulling that from there and moving it down. Yeah, 16.7% move there, guys, that we would be looking at to the downside. So still going to be in line with good structure. Whoa, that was not what I wanted to put there. Thank you. Let's try that one. That's still going to be another higher low that we would be looking at that level. Plus, in that line there that I'm just talking about, that's the 1-to-1 line on the fibs also. So, guys, nothing to be stressed about. Now, if we started to break down here where we're breaking golden pockets, platinum pockets, then sure, then we might have a different story. But as of right now, looking at the weekly, guys, we could easily come all the way down to $75,000 Bitcoin. And it might hurt, but you would just be retesting this previous zones back here that have not been closed out yet. Plus, if you take a look at this on the weekly, let's show you guys how to do this real quick. Little education here. Take this wick top from the previous candle there to that wick open there. That there, guys, is a fair value gap coming in right above the 887 to the 1-to-1 Fibonacci, and that fair value gap has not been tested at all since we got through the platinum pocket. So honestly, in all reality, a retest back down and correction to that level would put us in line with the anchored VWAP lower band. It would be the 887 here. It would also be previous resistances that we are now retesting for support. And then that would be close of the fair value gap and a move to the upside. Nothing to be stressed about. Just keep in mind, next couple of weeks could be very, very harsh. So OC, that's what we got time for today. Any thoughts on that though, on, pullbacks to that level? I mean, we're talking 70, upper $70,000 range on Bitcoin. How are the markets going to react to that just bought in at 90,000, 80,000? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's going to repeat it all over itself, right? I mean, new members are going to get scared. Members that are being here for one cycle, they're going to stay steady unless they have been not managing their risk properly, or they're doing the same mistake all over again. But at this point, we're still on time. We're still on time, guys. If you are not managing your risk, it's time for you not to be ambitious to the point that will hurt your financial support in the future. So remember, slow and steady, right? How you say, Piper, with the sniper movie, it is slow is equal fast.
No, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. That's it. Slow is smooth,
Perfect.
smooth is fast.
If we have time for one little thing more, let me just pull
yeah,
out
absolutely.
my
Let's jump over to here. Let's go.
Perfect. Let's take a look at this little beautiful creature, a goose that they always choose violence, right? So why do I call that? Because this is, yes. Oh man, if you know anything about gooses, you cannot talk nicely to them because they chase you all over the place. Worse than a guardian dog. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So one of the things there, we are building one of my favorite scenarios in here on the oscillator weekly, which is the goose head pattern. What is a goose head pattern? Let me show you what had happened before in a goose head pattern in these three occasions, right? And also let's measure one more thing. These two tops make a trend line, and look at where that trend line is taking us. 89, 89, 80, something around. So a pullback to those areas is nothing, basically, right? The next thing that this is talking about, this is a little retracement before a further continuation, small continuation, and then a major retracement. So based on this pattern, I am expecting just a tiny itty bitty retracement, hey, I got you movement, and then that retracement that Piper is talking about, right? And the next thing that I am expecting right here, it is look at this candle structure that we have. Let's just grab it from the previous movement, right, to the next movement, to the flag that it did till the breakout, right? Like this. So remember, I'm going to be grabbing it. Oh, come on. I'm going to be grabbing it here and then pointing it out as we broke before. Look at the market structure that we could be following, right? And look at those price points that we could be getting to, 74, 80. So as long as we hold first 90, 80-ish, we're still fine. And if not, it's time to start looking for a flag correction here before maybe the next movement. All right, so just wanted to push that in, Piper, also because I just realized that we have a goose head. And yeah, everything else, might be just playing out day by day.
Awesome. Guys, we are getting ready to head over to Randy Hipper's house. We're going to go see Frat Mom. So when you guys get in there, make sure you drop those graduation caps. Also on the way out, please play with the new emojis. If you're a member, drop the new emojis. Let me know that you guys enjoy them. This has been another episode of the Morning Market Report with OC Guy and myself. We appreciate you all. Make sure you guys tune in today. We still got 2 more shows. We had BC Port Corp this morning. Good morning, crypto. You guys are here right now. This afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we got Trade Academy with Trade Intuition. This evening, going to have the Crypto Nightcap with TradeFly and the FD White Invest. And then rounding out the end of the night tonight, maybe get some good alpha, another round of great alpha like you got last night with RSI monthlies from Lunar Beaches Crypto. That's Markets After Dark, guys. 5 shows per day on Monday through Thursday. You guys need to make sure you check them all out right here at the Piper Academy Network. Thanks for joining us today. OC, take care. Appreciate you being here, man. If you guys haven't done so, smash that like button and share this with a friend because sharing is caring. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Till then, guys, trade safe. And if you feel so inclined, use a stop loss. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall off. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by ChartPrime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after wheels fall off. Sound off.
To get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean.
That was awesome, dude.